We are back, and we're going to speak to Eileen Joyce from the SBA about the loan process, okay? And if you don't make direct loans, you guarantee loans, which you mentioned, okay?
Correct.
What is the loan process all about? If somebody comes to you, do you have to, I understand you have to go to a school workshop first?
No.
You don't have to?
No.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. Every business is a little different. When somebody is starting a business, let's talk about a startup first. If you're a startup business, what you want to do is you take your idea, you write your business plan, you go talk to our friends over at SCORE. Let them take that business plan, shoot all the holes in it, go back and fill up all those holes so that you've got a nice solid plan. Then you take that plan and you're going to find a lender. You're going to find a bank that you start with the bank that you currently do business with, somebody you have a relationship, and you pitch to the lender your deal. What you have to prove to the lender is that you're going to make the loan payments, that you have repayment ability based on your projected sales. It's very.
Well, that's all going to be set up in the business plan that SCORE is going to help you put together.
SCORE is going to help you with, the community college can help you with, the Small Business and Technology Development Center can help you with. There's lots of resources that SBA has helped to help businesses get to that point. And training, like you mentioned, the SCORE seminar that you guys have, the SCORE training goes through a lot of stuff that you need to put in a business plan. So there's a lot of help online. There's business plans online. There's tons of business plan stuff. Get your business plan, take it to a bank. Your bank is going to say, I'll make you a loan. No, I'm not going to make you a loan. Or I'll make you a loan if the SBA guarantees it. That's when the bank contacts SBA. The business owner,
all banks work with the SBA?
Most banks have made SBA loans.
Okay.
Credit unions tend not to. Banks will have the full discretion to use SBA however they choose. Some banks like to use SBA on large land deals. Some banks like to use SBA on small $35,000 and under deals. Some banks only use SBA if it's a collateral issue.
So they're not required by any regulation to use SBA?
At all.
But all banks have the option to use an SBA back situation?
Absolutely.
Okay, I got you.
And we maintain a list of all of our active lenders on our website. And if the bank says we're going to make you a loan, then you and the bank work on the paperwork. SBA guarantees up to a certain amount on the loan, anywhere from 50 to right now 90%, which means
that's good.
Yeah, it's good for the bank.
It kind of loosens up the credit, which is, I guess, what this whole
our programs were designed to make it easier for the bank to free up the money to make to the business owner. So, if the bank isn't in the mix, then it doesn't happen. The business owner may have to pay a guarantee fee on the guarantee portion of the loan.
Premium, like an insurance premium.
Like 2-3%.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Comes off the top. Right now, under the American Recovery Act, we are waiving all of our fees.
Oh, that's some of the fees, the upfront fees that they're taking.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And so some business owners, if you've got a larger deal like $250, $300, that's a lot of money.
Who's absorbing those fees? Anybody or the government?
Taxpayer.
Taxpayer.
Yep. Those fees are collected so that we bank them for future loans that do go into default. And that's what the guarantee's for. If you go into default, then the federal government will cut a check for the percentage that we've agreed upon for the outstanding balance to the bank.
So the procedure basically is you get your business plan together, you go to the bank, just apply for a loan. If they decide to take it without SBA assistance, that's fine. If not, they say, well, we want an SBA backing on it, then you again review the paperwork, I'm assuming. You have underwriters, or you just leave it to them?
For most all of our loans, the banks that are more of our active lenders, they do all the paperwork.
And if you've never dealt business, let's say it's a brand new bank, will you review the paperwork?
Not in North Carolina, it goes into a center.
Okay, so somebody then would possibly review the paperwork.
And they look at credit scores, they look at capacity, collateral, the whole thing.
Whole underwriting package, just like buying a house.
That's right.
Okay.
But it's a little different because you have to have collateral, you have to have cash to put into the business, you have to have a good credit score.
Well, it's just a regular business loan, and you just have some criteria that are going to be reviewed by your underwriters.
Now, for existing business owners, if you've been in business for a couple years and you need a loan to expand, or you're going to buy some land and build your building to move into, the business plan situation is a little different. The bank wants to know who, what, where, when, why, and how much in that situation. But you're going to have more historical documentation from the business. You're going to have your personal financial statements.
Well, you have your track record as a business, and you're going to be able to see. This way, if you have 3 stores now, you want to expand it, you want to double, you want to have 6 stores, you want to see if you can support that. that expansion?
Two-thirds of our loans are to existing businesses, and 1/3 of our loans
Well, that's a very interesting fact. I didn't
go
realize
to
that.
startups.
So you do most of your business, or most of your business comes from existing businesses.
Yes.
I think that's a great fact for our viewers. I really think that is.
Banks want to see history. It's really difficult to get a startup loan.
And do you get, as a SCORE representative, do your counselors get to rework the business plan to make the business more successful than it was in the past on an existing business situation? Have you seen that?
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, the SCORE counselors are seasoned business people for the most part, or seasoned professionals, so they have, in many cases, a lifetime of experience. So they're looking at the entrepreneur's plans and ideas with the perspective of the experiences they've had and the ups and downs that they've experienced in their own professional lives.
Well, I guess my question is, let's say a businessman comes to you and he's got an existing business, very successful, and he comes to your counselors, and your counselor looks at it and says, well, if you did this, you could increase sales or you can cut back costs. And then a businessman who is in business has his aha moment, say, I never thought about that. I mean, that would be,
happens all the time.
A great thing.
Yeah, I think that's what we're really doing in many cases, is just providing a third-party set of eyes to review information, and many business people are so focused on their business that they really don't have time to sit back and take that look, and that's what one of the things.
Objective view.
Yeah, one of the things the counselor can do.
As I said, they're too busy working to make any money.
Well, they may be making money, or they may not be. Whatever the situation is, they're still getting up every day, going to work, dealing with the day-to-day problems, and generally often don't see the big picture, which is, again, a role the counselor can play.
That's very important. Objective view, and this way they're out of the loop.
Because really, there's nothing in it for us. We're not selling insurance. We're not selling a bank product. We're not trying to sell the customer anything. And so when we sit down with a client and say, have you thought about doing, this type of marketing, or have you reduced your expenses through these mechanisms? Have you thought about leasing a facility instead of buying? We're not in the property management business.
That's SCORE's job. SCORE does that
SCORE
counseling.
does that, yeah.
One of the interesting things that I've observed in my experiences is the discipline. A lot of business people that we meet with say, well, I know I need to do a business plan. I know I need to do these things, and you are giving me the discipline to do that, because when we meet with them, we'll generally say, okay, how was the meeting? Did you find it productive? Would you like to meet again? If the answer is yes, well, we set some goals for them to accomplish at the next meeting. We'll set another time in which we can get together, and out of that comes a sort of a need on their part to be prepared for our next meeting, which is an element of homework, which is an element of discipline that all of us, if we're honest, need to one degree or another.
And if they're not willing to do the homework, then they're not serious.
Right.
Now, we're not going to call them up and drag them down to meet with us, because again, business is a self-motivating activity for the most part. You're not going to be successful if someone has to kind of drag you along.
And it's free counseling. If we were paid consultants, then we would push you and do it for you and make it happen.
But you still put the same amount of effort in it. I mean, as long as there's a motivation on a business.
Sure, they've put it together. The SCORE counselors will do it.
Part of our reward as a volunteer is to see the success that we are helping to contribute to, if that's to come about. So probably that's one of our greatest motivators, is someone really is responding and making progress on whatever their goals are, and we're part of that. That's a very rewarding experience.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, I have some more questions about loans and also about the relationship between SCORE and the SBA. So we'll be back very shortly. Thanks very much.